So just days ago, in yet another recent shark attack in Egypt's Red Sea resorts, a woman was left in critical condition after being attacked by what was believed to be a tiger shark at Laguna Beach in Dahab, Egypt. Now, Dahab is located about 80 kilometers northeast of Sharm el-Sheikh, which is a well-known beach resort. It's frequented by locals and tourists. Now, it's known for its beautiful beaches, its diving spots, but it's also a place where people usually come to relax and enjoy the Red Sea. It's extremely rich in terms of its marine biodiversity, so it attracts a lot of snorkelers and divers from around the world. And not to mention, it's a resort, so people love getting in the water. Like, those are one of the main things that they like to do. Now, although the Red Sea is home to a variety of different marine life, it's also inhabited by several species of sharks. Now, these include reef sharks, hammerhead sharks, tiger sharks, and also mako sharks. Now, although we all know this and this is the way it's advertised, shark attacks are very much rare. There are precautions that are taken naturally, especially when it comes to places that are like 5-star resorts. There's local dive shops often providing guidelines and safety tips for divers and swimmers, emphasizing the importance of being aware of your surroundings when you're in the water, and so on and so forth. Now, the woman, who was unidentified, she was an Egyptian national from Alexandria. She was enjoying a leisurely swim with one of her friends in the warm waters of Laguna Beach, as I prior mentioned. The day was sunny, and the beach was bustling with tourists and locals alike. Now, as they swam further from the shore, her and her friend, they noticed a large fish approaching them. Now, fellow swimmers in the vicinity, they initially mistook the creature for a large tuna fish, given the way it was moving and its size. However, within moments, the situation took a horrifying turn, as the large fish was in fact a shark. It's highly believed that it was a tiger shark actually. Once it got closer, people recognized it as a tiger shark, and it targeted the woman, and it ended up biting into her left arm with such force that she was immediately incapacitated, causing her to lose consciousness just seconds later. Now, witnesses at the scene quickly realized the gravity of the situation and rushed to her aid. They used makeshift tourniquets to control the bleeding, and they managed to bring her back to shore. She was then immediately rushed to Dahab Central Hospital in critical condition, and given the severity of her injuries, she was then later transferred to Sharm el-Sheikh International Hospital for specialized medical care. And then it was there that they had to make the difficult decision to amputate her left arm at the shoulder due to the severity of the injuries. Now, the Ministry of Environment announced the closure of Laguna Beach and all beach activities upon the incident. They also right away initiated an investigation into the attack. The woman underwent an emergency surgery, of course, and now she's reported to be in stable condition, but the loss of her arm has had a significant impact on her life already, and that's super tragic to hear. Now, local authorities, they banned swimming, they banned snorkeling and other water sports on Thursday in several Dahab beaches, and they're pending the outcome of the investigation before they even reconsider opening. Authorities are investigating the type of shark that was involved in the attack. Based on the bite marks, people highly believe that it was a tiger shark, but this hasn't been concluded yet. Now, whether any attractants were in the water during the time of the attack to have instigated the attack, they're still trying to figure this out right now. But the attack has not only left the community in shock, this also raised concerns among authorities about the safety of beachgoers in Egypt's Red Sea resorts in general. Because of course, in these very waters, and this concern is heightened by this fact, this is not an isolated incident. As you all may remember, and I did make a video about this, I'll leave it for you at the end screen of this video. Just this past June, a tragedy unfolded when Vladimir Popov was a 24-year-old Russian man. He was killed by a tiger shark in waters not far away from Dahab. His death was captured in graphic video footage. It went viral. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you don't see it, but if you're really curious and you really want to see what that would be like, and if you can stomach something like that, then I will leave a link for you to my Rumble, which has that video from a news outlet, and I'll leave it for you pinned in the comments. But once again, it's super gruesome, so just viewer discretion is definitely advised for that one. Now, of course, his death captured widespread alarm, and it raised questions about the safety measures of Egypt's Red Sea resorts and Sharm el-Sheikh beaches, and they just want to really know how they can protect swimmers and divers at this point, because there have been a number of them now. It seems like it's a pattern that's emerging there, and it's just something that really needs to be dealt with, and they need to take better precautions. They need to have more warning signs out there. More precautionary measures in general need to be taken. So the Ministry of Environment has announced the formation of a committee now to investigate the causes of these attacks, and discussions are underway about potential changes to safety protocols, including the use of shark nets and increased surveillance. They said the same thing when Vladimir Popov passed away, and it's been 3 months since that incident, and I'm not exactly sure why more and more shark attacks just seem to be popping up in these same waters now, despite this. So they really need to do something about this, in my opinion, because shark attacks, they're advertised as rare, and now every few months we're hearing about shark attacks in Sharm el-Sheikh's resorts, you know what I mean, in Egypt's Red Sea resorts. So they really need to be more cognizant of this, that this could go out of hand. Because if sharks start realizing that there's just easy food here, and because of the temperature changes, which I do mention in the other video, there are temperature changes that affect, and also food availability changes that affect the location of where the sharks end up being during specific times of the year. So it's very important that, people are aware that these sharks can be swimming like right next to them, and you don't want tiger sharks swimming next to you, I'll be honest with you. That's the last shark you want swimming next to you. So of course the authorities are also trying to emphasize the importance of assigning a higher number of immediate medical facilities, shark warning signs, and also more emergency response teams to be available in these areas. So they are trying to do more things about this, but once again, talk is cheap. They need to actually put these things into action. I really hope that they actually follow through this time, because more lives are going to be lost and people need to know the risks. Now recently there was another shark attack that occurred that actually saw 3 sailors get stranded out in the Coral Sea in an inflatable catamaran, and they were attacked by sharks. This could have been much worse than it turned out. I will leave the link for you at the end screen of this video if you haven't heard about that story yet. That story is quite insane, and it did just happen recently as well. These people were definitely lucky to be alive.